just in
It's just,
purpose
yeah.
wording. But I managed to run the report, I got the numbers I needed, and I forgot to send them to Brian, so I was. My
I'll send
first.
them, yeah, you can send the report. We'll talk.
Okay.
Sorry.
Corey, you looked at yes. Did you look at the explanations?
No, I did not. So, well,
We're good? Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Okay, changing the meaning. You don't need to be because your notes for that, you have, over good without treasures. Yeah, because you got.
it's all.
Okay.
Services.
That's 11.
Good afternoon, everyone. And welcome to today's Board of Estimate and Apportionment meeting. My name is Dorsey Clears, Chief City Auditor. In the Office of Audit and Control, we also have Chantal Paz, Deputy Chief City Auditor. We have Joel Stetson from Budget, Council President Ellis, and we also have Councilwoman Tucker. So we have a light agenda today, not too many items. And then we have an item that was tabled from the last meeting that we'll get into. And we have that at the end of today's agenda. So we'll get into the first budget transfer request from our city clerk's department. They are looking to transfer $500 from legal/common council from that account to the supplies and materials /city clerk account. This is to cover the cost of end of year supplies. Pretty straightforward. The next request is from the water department, seeking to transfer $54,000 from 3 accounts into 4. Supplies and materials /pumping stations in the amount of $20,000. Other equipment /pumping stations in the amount of $14,000, and feeds and services /special items in the amount of $20,000. Again, that $54,000 going into contracted services /administration in the amount of $20,000. Other equipment /purification in the amount of $10,000. Supplies and materials /administration in the amount of $4,000, and contracted services /special items in the amount of $20,000. These funds will cover the cost of future invoices. Any questions on this item? The next request is from our police department, seeking to transfer $62,661 from 2 accounts into 2 accounts. The first is contracted services /emergency services team in the amount of $2,661. The salary /center station in the amount of $60,000. These funds will be transferred into supplies and materials /emergency services team in the amount of $2,661. In motor vehicle expense /administrative services in the amount of $60,000. The purpose being to cover the cost of medical supplies for emergency services team and maintenance and repair costs for police vehicles. The last item, before I go there, any questions regarding APD's budget transfer requests? The last item is from the Community Police Review Board. This was the item that was tabled. I will tee it up and then turn it over to Chantal. They are seeking to transfer $100,000 from salaries to contracted services to cover the cost of consultant fees, cleaning services for the remainder of the year. I believe Darius, our city treasurer, had a question about were there negative budget implications given $100,000 will be transferred from the salaries line, and would that impact salaries for the rest of the year? And so we have the director here to answer questions. If we have questions, we did receive a letter detailing the purpose of the request, but also the justification. Per the letter that we received, these funds being transferred One would have no negative budget conditions. Right now in the 2025 budget, there are a total of 3 salary lines in the Community Police Review Board budget. But program director, investigator, and confidential assistant, today, are you the only salary staff?
Yes, ma'am. And there's very little likelihood that staff will be hired before the other time.
And so given that, to the question about whether this would impact salaries for the rest of the year, per that, the answer is no. And these funds would address a deficit in the contracted services account. Right now, we have a deficit in the amount of $7,889.72. And so this would bring that account back to black. But there are also some additional incurred and projected expenses that total $82,405.34.
I need to amend that, so there was an invoice that was brought to my attention this morning from April, that totals $11,150, it's not been paid. $1,600
$11,000.
it's not been paid to Tina LLC, our administrative contractor, so that would increase the overall $82,000 by $11,150. However, I also want to highlight that within the contracted services line, there's currently $93,450 encumbered for remediation services. That will likely not be rendered by the end of the calendar year, so it's necessary that we can call back free document from the first quarters related to those two expenditures as well. So there's roughly $19,400 of encumbered funds that can be freed up if necessary, in addition to what would be left over from the transfer.
Okay, and then the deficit amount, the 7,000, that is separate from the 82.
That's part of the.
Oh, it's part of the 82.
Yeah, so the final figure, the line above curve, the $82,405 would allow for 17,000, roughly 17,500 of the $100,000 transfer request to be remaining.
Mhm.
That's gonna be reduced by $11,000, so we got $6,000 left over, but there is the ability to free up about $19,500 if needed on the contract services line from other encumbered projects that are currently encumbered.
Okay. Councilwoman, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I think that's what we said.
I figured this out on the way here, so I'll send you an email.
All right. Yeah. It makes sense.
Are there any questions?
Yes, ma'am.
The 19,000 that you referred to, 19,400, did you say mediation services?
Correct. So we have two mediation providers that were encumbered $10,000 purchase orders before I arrived. To this date, they've only expended $300. We have no mediation schedule on the foreseeable horizon for the rest of the calendar year. Because AP is still evaluating complaints that they believe to be suited for mediation. So out of that $20,000 of encumbered, we only expended $600 of it. Chances are we will need to touch the remaining balance for the rest of the year, so.
that's-
It's
That's solely related to APD mediations then, and not any other mediation that may take place.
the only mediation program before it.
Okay, thank you.
So just to answer that question, because I know last year meeting, we discussed, having a meeting for the term,
That's,
this year, would that come out of your budget or not?
no, that, I understand that was not the common application, there's some other budget.
Yes.
Mediate conflict between the board and the council.
Yes.
Totally separate from the secret. Okay.
Good
Other
question.
Yes, very good questions. You have a question? Okay. So there are no further questions regarding this item. That concludes the budget transfer request portions. The last item is a legal settlement. And this settlement is for Mr. Perry Daniels. Due to claims of an illegal search and seizure, false arrest, and malicious prosecution. There has been since a settlement with the city in the amount of $8,100. And so the memo is included in the packet, but that is the last item on the agenda. Any questions? So if there are no questions, may I request a motion to approve the agenda as is?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Council President Ellis, second by Councilman Frederick. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So we will send out the final agenda. And may I please request a motion to conclude today's meeting?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor from Council President Ellis, a second from Councilwoman Frederick. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. This concludes today's Board of Estimate Enforcement meeting. Thank you all so much. Turn the floor over to our lovely colleagues in the clerk's hall.
Thank you. Just falling to orders. Today, Tuesday, October 21st, the Board of Contracting.
Thought it would slide more on the glass. It didn't.
And also be everything.
Just waiting for you, Robert.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
All right, calling to order as a Board of Contract and Supply, today, Tuesday, October 21st. We have present Joel Sutton, Budget Department, Robert McGee, Corporate Counsel, William McQueen, City Engineering, and Zioli, Department of General Services. The first bid to be opened, maintenance contract for plumbing work for various city-owned buildings. There were no bid submissions submitted for that project. The next project is maintenance contract for roofing work for various owned city buildings. The first bidder is Mid-State Industries. Base bid, $148,350.00. Thank you. The bond is included. Next, we have Titan Roofing. Base bid, $160,250. Bid funds included. Next, next project is HVAC and temperature control inspection and service contract for various city buildings, James D. Warren and Son. Base bid amount $99,405. Bid form is included. Next project, we have Quail Street Boxing Gym, bathrooms and backflow prevention. First bidder is Sam Greco Construction Incorporated. Base bid, total base bid, $325,000. Bond is included. Next bidder is Bonaquisty. Hey, I wish I would have known you were here. Bonaquisty Brothers Construction. Base bid $219,000.00. And bid bond is included. Next, we have MJG Construction Group. Base bid $248,500.00. Bid bond is included. Next, we have Mid-State Industries, bid bond is included. Base bid is $412,000 and 0 cents. Mr. LeQuee offered the following: resolve that the bid of the following named bidder be accepted and the contract awarded to them at and for the prices specified in their proposal, they being the lowest qualified bidder, theirs being the lowest qualified bid, and that the mayor be authorized to sign the contract on behalf of the city. Project was maintenance contract overhead door repairs for various city-owned buildings. The bidder was All Type Professional Doors Services, bid amount $48,750, 0 cents. Mr. Zeoli offered the following: resolve that the bid of the following named bidder be accepted and the contract awarded to them at and for the prices specified in their proposal, they being the lowest qualified bidder, theirs being the lowest bid, and the mayor be authorized to sign the contract on behalf of the city. Project was purchase of road salt, Appalachia LLC. Road salt for the various prices listed. Mr. Zeoli offered the following: resolve that the bid of the following bidder be accepted and the contract awarded to them at and for the prices specified in their proposal, they being the lowest qualified bidder, theirs being the lowest qualified bid, and that the mayor be authorized to sign the contract on behalf of the city. Light vehicle parts, preventative maintenance and repair, exit 5, auto group was the lowest bidder. Were the various amounts listed. Mr. Zeoli offered the following: resolve that the bid of the following named bidder be accepted and the contract awarded to them at and for the prices specified in their proposal, they being the lowest qualified bidder and theirs being the lowest bid, and that the mayor be authorized to sign a contract on behalf of the city. Project name: Shed Installation and Supply Services. Lowest bidder was Carport Central for the various prices listed below. Mr. Bailey offered the following: resolve that the increase in the amount of $566,897.31, change order number 3 be made to Jefferson Project Contract 9342, Lincoln Park Pool. This change order is required processing final invoices after the contingency line was exhausted for the field changes and spoils removal. The new contract value will be $23,933,144.31. Mr. Bailey offered the following: resolve that the increase in the amount of $286,344.19. Change order number 2 be made to Jefferson Construction Contract 9096, Lincoln Park Waterline and Road. This change order is required for additional time and materials for grading, relocation of the water line connection, and traffic control. The new contract value will be $969,104.89. Mr. Daly offered the following: resolve that the increase of amount in the resolve that increase in the amount of $49,509.37. Change order number 2 be made to Jefferson Construction Contract 9408, Lincoln Park Pool Bathhouse. This change order covers the cost of additional anchoring for lockers and portico ceiling repairs. The new contract value will be $638,306.97. Mr. Daly offered the following: resolve that increase in the amount of $3,950. Change order number 2 be made to Compan Purchase Agreement SP 158055-1, Washington Park Playground. This change order is required to repair and installation due to damage done by trespassing. The cost also includes wrap for structures. The new contract value will be $758,882.61. No change is proposed for the final completion date. Mr. LeQuee offered the following: resolve that in accordance with the existing contract provision of city contract number 9324, that the following named contract be extended for 1 year at and for the prices and terms specified in the existing contract. The new contract completion date will be December 31st, 2026. Project title: Maintenance Contract for Bush Square Cooling Tower Testing Inspection. Contractor is the Metro Group for the amount of $8,490.00. Mr. Lepre offered the following. Resolved that in accordance with the existing contract provision of city contract number 9363, that the following named contract be extended for 1 year and at and for the prices and terms specified in the existing contract. The new contract completion date will be December 31st, 2026. Project maintenance contract for window cleaning services for various city-owned buildings. Bidder is Genertronics for the amount of $46,712. Mr. Lepre offered the following. Resolved that in accordance with the existing contract provisions of contract 9366, that the following named contract be extended for 1 year at and for the prices and terms specified in the existing contract. The new contract completion date will be December 31st, 2026. Project title, maintenance contracts for locksmith services for various city-owned buildings. Bidder is Center for Security LLC. The amount will be $26,125. Mr. Lepre offered the following. Resolved that in accordance with the existing contract provisions of city contract number 9397, that the following named contract be extended for 1 year at and for prices and terms specified in the existing contract. The contract completion date will be December 31st, 2026. Project title, maintenance contract for carpentry work for various city-owned buildings. Contractor, Gannon Contracting Corporation, amount $67,000. Mr. Lepre offered the following. Resolved that in accordance with the existing contract provisions of city contract number 9415, that the following named contract be extended for 1 year at and for prices and terms specified in the existing contract. The new contract completion date will be December 31st, 2026. Project title is maintenance contract for masonry work for various city-owned buildings. Contractor is Gannon Contracting Corporation. The amount is $81,150.00. Motion to accept the agenda.
So moved. So moved.
Second.
Motion to it.
No.
No.
Favor?
All in favor, thank you.
Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.